Hi, I'm Jim Taylor. Welcome to the 11th video in this In Favor teaching series, Your Words Are Powerful. This is what God says about what you say. And in this section of the series, we're talking about how Jesus uses his own words in powerful ways and what we can learn from that. So you'll need to download the handout from infavorresources.com. You're looking for the 11th one, when Jesus speaks to the fig tree. We find that story in Matthew 21. Beginning with verse 18. Early in the morning, as he was on his way back to the city, Jerusalem, he was hungry. Seeing a fig tree by the road, he went up to it, obviously to eat a fig, but found nothing on it except leaves. And then he said to it, "May you never bear fruit again." Literally, Jesus said, "No longer will fruit come from you forever." That is a strong, authoritative declaration. The result? Immediately, the tree withered. When the disciples saw this, they were amazed. "How did the fig tree wither so quickly?" they asked. Verse 21, Jesus replied, "I tell you the truth. If you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but you can say to this mountain, 'Go throw yourself into the sea,' and it will be done. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer." Now, quite frankly, this is a but passage for evangelicals. They are quick to strip this story of its power and its importance to us. It's just a metaphor. They say, well, maybe. Don't take these words literally. Okay. After all, there's no reason to want to toss around a mountain. Well, maybe. But when they get done, like there's no story left, except, well, why would Jesus kill a poor, defenseless fig tree who didn't do anything to him? Mean Jesus. Poor fig tree. Let's just move on. We don't like this story anyway. Like it or not, though, there are two unavoidable facts here. You can't explain these away and you can't deny them. Two things that this story shows us very clearly and definitely. The first one, Jesus, by speaking to it, miraculously makes a fig tree die in an impossibly short time. So much so that the disciples are amazed. "How can this be?" they ask. And the second fact is this. Much more to the disciples' amazement, Jesus said they could do the same thing, and even more. Jesus didn't back down from the whole fig tree episode. He pushed it even farther and said, "You guys can move mountains." So, instead of saying but, just weeks later, Peter stood near the temple, looked directly into the eyes of a man who had been crippled from birth, had never walked, never expected to. And Peter said, in an authoritative way, out loud, he looked at him and did what he probably would have thought was impossible earlier. He said, "In the name of Jesus, walk." And the man did. To the astonished crowd, Peter said, "Well, why would you think we did this?" It was faith in the name of Jesus that brought healing to this man. So we're seeing this pattern again and again, especially in these last three videos. The presence of faith and trust in Jesus' power. Secondly, an authoritative spoken word or command. And then miracles happen. Listen to William Hendrickson in the box on your handout there. "No task in harmony with God's will is impossible to be performed by those who believe and do not doubt. We should not try in any way whatever to minimize the force of this saying and to subtract from its meaning. Both in the physical and in the spiritual sphere, the apostles had already been doing things that would have been considered just as impossible as causing a mountain to be lifted up and thrown into the sea." And he gives us several examples, and the first one is, hadn't Peter, by faith, walked on water? So pause for a moment now and think about this. God has given to us and to our words tremendous authority. And by faith, we can do the impossible and the extraordinary. So what mountains stand in your way? What difficulties seem to be insurmountable for you? Don't give your time and your effort to going around them. Don't let them move you. You move the mountain. They are not too big for Jesus. Put your faith in him and speak to the mountain. Speak to it today. Your words are powerful. That's what God says about what you say. Now, the next video, we're going to just be blown away at what happens when Jesus speaks to the dead. Hope to see you then.